Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle one of the most frustrating, costly, and honestly universal challenges in the modern workplace. We're talking about that massive friction that exists between a brilliant business idea and the actual, boots on the ground technical execution. I mean, whether you're a total beginner just stepping into the professional world, a mid level manager desperately trying to get a project off the ground, or an advanced executive driving company wide strategy, you have absolutely felt this pain. So today, we're going to unpack exactly how to solve it.
To start us off, let's just look at the big picture for a second. I really want you to think about this question. Why do perfectly planned projects still fail at launch? You've got the budget, you've got the all-star team, you're hitting the timeline. But the day the product goes live, everyone is completely unhappy. Why does that happen? Well, it's because the vast majority of projects don't actually fail because of bad coding. They fail before a single line of code is ever even written. They fail because of a massive expectation gap. You see, people think they're agreeing on the exact same thing, but in reality, they are envisioning completely different realities in their heads. And this breakdown brilliantly illustrates exactly where that expectation gap comes from. On one side, you have side A, and they are speaking business talk. They care about abstract goals, return on investment, user feelings, and solving a market pain point. But then you have side B, speaking tech talk, and they are dealing in absolute, hard reality. System constraints, API integrations, data structures, and load-bearing math. It's kind of like building a custom home, right? If a family says they want a cozy feeling, you wouldn't just hand them a structural engineer's dense 40-page blueprint filled with load-bearing calculations. It's overwhelming and frankly useless to them. But conversely, you can't just hand a contractor a sticky note that says, "Make it cozy," and expect a house to actually stand up. The vocabularies are just fundamentally incompatible. So the absolutely crucial point here is that you literally cannot jump straight from a business conversation into writing code. You need a translation layer in between. We call this the pre-blueprint phase. It's a highly structured way to communicate exactly how a system is going to behave. It translates all those dense technical constraints into plain business language without overwhelming the end user with technical jargon. It is the ultimate bridge. And as you'll see, building that bridge requires a very specific methodology. Which brings us right into the core mechanics of how professionals actually solve this day-to-day. Enter the RAPID framework. RAPID is a pre-development alignment tool. You can think of it as a pre-code contract that perfectly manages stakeholder expectations. RAPID stands for requirements, assumptions, priorities, implications, and dependencies. Before your tech team starts building out their sprints, and way before your business team assumes they are getting the moon, you basically lock everyone in a room and you agree on these 5 exact pillars. Let's actually see how this builds out in a real, relatable scenario. Imagine you've been tasked with deploying a brand new AI customer service ticket tool. For requirements, you can't just write down, "Make it smart." You have to say, the system must automatically sort 100 tickets per hour. For assumptions, you're stating things plainly like, "We assume the historical customer data is clean and ready to use." For priorities, we decide what gets built first, and we'll dive into that in just a second. For implications, you note that this tool will fundamentally change how customer service reps spend their day. And finally, for dependencies, you identify that the AI absolutely requires access to a specific internal database API to even function. By putting all this on one single page, the business team understands the boundaries, and the tech team completely understands the goal. Now, what's really interesting is how we handle that P in RAPID, priorities. Because let's be honest, if you ask a business stakeholder what they want, they will always, without fail, say, everything. To counter this, professionals use something called the Moscow Matrix. It forces everyone in the room to categorize every single requested feature into 4 distinct buckets: what this product absolutely must have to solve the core problem, what it should have if time permits, what it could have as a nice little bonus, and what it definitively won't have in this iteration. And that brings us to one of the most incredibly powerful tools in your entire professional arsenal, the Power of Wont Have. Declaring upfront, in writing, what won't be built is the ultimate scope creep killer. It establishes firm, undeniable boundaries. Plus, if a stakeholder tells you they're afraid this new system is going to do something they don't want, like maybe automate a process they really want to keep manual, you just put that specific thing right into the won't have bucket. Instantly, you build trust, you protect your development timeline, and you completely align expectations. Okay, now let's elevate our perspective a bit and look at the deep strategic layer behind all of this. Because we are shifting now from tactical project management into deep organizational psychology. Look at this question. On the surface, it seems like a massive win, right? You build a tool, you deploy it, and it successfully saves employees 10 hours a week. Fantastic. But what happens next? What actually happens to their jobs? Are they getting laid off? Are their roles changing entirely? Do they suddenly have to learn a completely new set of skills?
This right here is why the I in rapid, implications, is the secret weapon of advanced leaders. You see, the rapid framework isn't just a software development checklist. It's actually a profound change management tool. When you introduce new technology, you create structural disruptions. If you don't surface these workflow changes, regulatory audits, or potential role shifts before you start building, you are going to face massive workplace panic at launch. Users will resist your tools simply because they fear it. Advanced alignment means you surface the uncomfortable truths early so leadership can plan the transition. You're managing the human workflow, not just the data flow.
So, the million-dollar question: how do you actually get a room full of people with completely competing agendas to agree to all this? You use the pre-alignment strategy. Step 1, you draft the rapid document based on your initial discovery. Step 2, and listen, this is the absolutely crucial point. You meet with key stakeholders individually. Do not wait for the big steering committee meeting to show your hand. You sit with the CMO, you sit with the head of IT, and you walk them through it one-on-one. Why? Because human beings are political creatures. If you surprise them in a highly public meeting, they're going to get defensive, they'll grandstand, and they will shoot your project down just to look good in front of the CEO. By aligning with them individually, you completely eliminate political surprises, and you guarantee consensus before you ever get to step 3, the big presentation. And once that alignment is locked in, this document becomes your defensive wall. Because let me tell you, it doesn't matter how good your alignment was on day 1, 3 months down the line, stakeholders will unofficially ask for more. They'll want extra features without giving you extra budget or time. And this isn't malicious, it's literally just human nature. But with this documented alignment, you now have a baseline against irrationality. You can simply smile and say, I would love to add that feature, but let's look at our agreed upon rapid document. If we add this, what should we remove from the must-have list? It protects the project's scope so gracefully and professionally. As we wrap up our analysis today, I really want to leave you with this core philosophy. Frameworks don't deliver projects, aligned human expectations do. You could have the most elegant technical architecture, the most brilliant system design, and the most robust agile sprints in the entire world. But if the humans using the tool, paying for the tool, and managing the tool aren't aligned on what reality is actually going to look like, the project is a failure. Which brings me to our final question, something for you to take back to your desk right now. Whether you're building a massive AI tool, launching a new marketing campaign, or just restructuring your own internal team processes, before you write your next line of code or draft your next big proposal, whose expectations do you need to align today? Think about that gap between business talk and tech talk in your own world and start building that bridge. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.